Hey everyone, welcome back to Jar Brooks Vids. I am your host, Jar Brooks Davis. Things are not going smoothly right now with the New York Mets. From the Jacob deGrom injury to the bats not going to the pitching being in question, it is just not going well in Flushing, Queens. Let's take it over to Citi Field right now as the Mets took on the Dodgers. The Mets hosted the Los Angeles Dodgers in the rubber game of the series between the two teams. Carlos Carrasco was on the hill for the orange and blue, and it didn't start well as former Met Justin Turner opens up the score with a two-run homer. Later on, Will Smith, feeling like the Fresh Prince of Flushing, goes deep with his third long ball of the series. Who knows, maybe it is time to pitch around him. In the bottom of the first, Max Scherzer on the hill for the Dodgers, runners on the corners with two outs for Jeff McNeil, and McNeil with the fly out to shallow left field. Top second, Trey Turner with an RBI double to left center field brings in Cody Bellinger. 4-0 Dodgers. Up comes Max Muncy, and he goes deep to center field, now giving the Dodgers a 6-run lead. In the bottom of the second, Scherzer dealing to J.D. Davis strikes him out. Later on, two runners in scoring position for Brandon Nimmo, and he grounds out to second base. In the bottom of the third, same situation for Jeff McNeil, and a ground ball to second helps get Michael Conforto home as the Mets get on the scoreboard. Bottom four, Michael Conforto, one out, bases loaded, he grounds out to Max Muncy, helping Jonathan Villar score. Can Pete Alonso, of all people, do the trick for the Amazons? No. He goes down on strikes. Let's get to the sixth, where Max Muncy goes deep once again for the Dodgers. They call Max Scherzer Mad Max. Why not call Max Muncy Max Munchie? 2 home runs to center field. He is munching the Mets. It didn't get easier for the Amazons as Pete Alonso pops up with 2 runners on, and that was practically it for the Mets as the Dodgers continued to pour it on in the final innings. Connor Green ends the game on a Jeff McNeil strikeout as the Dodgers sweep the Mets in all 3 games. After tonight's loss, the Mets will head over to the Bay Area as they will take on the San Francisco Giants, while the Dodgers will head back over to LA as they will host the Pittsburgh Pirates. It has been pretty for the Mets as their recent trade deadline acquisition Javier Baez has been sidelined, and his good buddy Francisco Lindor has yet to return since the series in Pittsburgh. As Mets fans know, the saying is, you gotta believe. Can they really believe? Especially as they're dropping back more and more in the National League East as they sit in 3rd place right now? It's tough to say. I'm Jar Brooks Davis, and thank you for your time. I will see you later. Hey everyone, welcome to Jar Brooks Vids. I am your host, Jar Brooks Davis. We are going to talk a little bit about some action with the New York Mets today, along with some action from the NBA Finals. But first, we're going to start it over in Citi Field, where the Mets took on the Pittsburgh Pirates last night. It was the story of the long ball yesterday as the Mets had 4 homers in the win against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jonathan Villar took J.D. Brubaker deep in the bottom of the 3rd. In the bottom of the 6th, Pete Alonso had a 3-run shot, giving the Mets a 4-run cushion. Later in the inning, Francisco Lindor added with the Orange and Blues' first Grand Slam of the year. Next inning, Villar from the right side to deep left, helping the Mets to a 13-4 win. We all know the term, eat what's in the fridge. Do you know when you're wanting to go to Wendy's or Burger King or McDonald's, and your parents tell you, we have food at home, eat what's in the fridge? That's some of the questions that are coming up with the New York Mets at the trade deadline. A lot of rumors have been going on about Josh Donaldson and Kris Bryant and Adam Frazier. Should the Mets trade for any one of those infielders? But with depth coming back like J.D. Davis and having players like Jose Peraza, Jonathan Villar, and Luis Guillorme on your bench, is it that necessary to make a trade for a Kris Bryant, Adam Frazier, or a Josh Donaldson? After all, Kris Bryant is supposed to be a free agent after this season. Adam Frazier plays second base, and with Jeff McNeil at that position, is it necessary to trade for an Adam Frazier, even though he is an all-star? Tip your cap over to him. Or is pitching the biggest concern for the New York Mets? With Carlos Carrasco coming back and Noah Syndergaard looking to do some rehab work, is it that necessary? The New York Mets are 46-38, and they are in first place in the National League East. In the postseason, a lot of teams use 4-man rotations in 7-game series or 5-game series. Is it that necessary for the Mets to make a trade for a pitcher? Who knows? In the meantime, let's kick it over to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks are reeling. Devin Booker is making hustle plays. He kicks out to Cam Johnson. On this play, where's the effort from the Bucks? Jrue Holiday gets the block. Cam Johnson gets the rebound, passes to DeAndre Ayton for a 2-hand slam. Where is the cavalry from the Bucks? Later on in the game, Chris Paul and one, and Devin Booker step back over the center. Brook Lopez got him. Later on, D-Book 3. Phoenix has a 2-0 series lead as they head to Milwaukee. Game 3 is slated for Sunday night. And that is your Sports Talk with Jarvis Davis. I appreciate your time. I'll catch you later. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jarvis Vids. I am Jarvis Davis. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is over, and all players who have been going back and forth throughout acquisitions throughout the league are finally getting to settle into their new homes. It was a big night for Javier Baez, who made his Mets debut. But before we get into the Mets taking on the Cincinnati Reds, let's take a quick look at the pregame festivities over at Citi Field. The night at Citi Field started off with Edgardo Alfonzo, John Matlack, and Ron Darling being inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame as the Orange and Blue hosted the Cincinnati Reds at Citi Field. Look at Javier Baez getting set to make his New York Mets debut. Brandon Drury takes this ball the opposite way as he gets the bottom of the third going with the leadoff double. Rich Hill comes up next and he lays down a beautiful sacrifice bunt, moving Drury over. And Jonathan VR comes up with an RBI single over to left field, giving the Mets a 1-run lead. Top 4, 2 on for Eugenio Suarez, and he hits a moonshot to deep left field, giving the Cincinnati Reds a 3-1 lead. Later in the inning, Rich Hill in trouble with 2 runners on in scoring position. The opposing pitcher Wade Miley floats this pitch to left, and in comes Dom Smith, diving to make the grab, pulling the southpaw Rich Hill out of trouble. But trouble struck again as Kyle Farmer tanked this breaking ball to left field, adding another run to the Reds' lead. Bottom of the 6th, 1 runner on for Javier Baez, and Baez goes deep to left field in his Mets debut, bringing the Orange and Blue to within 1. You can see Francisco Lindor fired up. I know he is saying, "This is why I brought you here." Baez helps bring the Mets to within 1. It stayed 4-3 between the two teams until the 9th. Jeff McNeil walked and Luis Guillorme pinch ran for him. He moved to second base on a wild pitch. But after Baez and James McCann struck out, Dom Smith, down to his last strike, lines his pitch off of Sean Doolittle to center field, driving in Guillorme and tying the game at 4. The score stayed the same for Edwin Diaz in the top of the 10th, and he got out of trouble, leaving the Reds scoreless, and both teams tied at 4 heading into the bottom of the 10th. Kevin Pillar as a lead runner on second base, and Brandon Drury stepping into the plate. Brandon Drury with a line shot to right field. Kevin Pillar gets the wave to come home as Brandon Drury walks it off for the Mets in the bottom of the 10th as they won against the Reds 5-4. Edwin Diaz got the win for the Mets as former Met farm prospect Luis Cessa took the loss for the Cincinnati Reds. Both teams will be looking tomorrow to see who will take the best 2 out of 3. Rookie Victor Gutierrez will take the hill for the Reds, and he will go up against Marcus Stroman. Is scheduled for 110. And that was your Mets game report. I'm Jared Brooks Davis, and I want you all to know to have a good night.